Hey, what's up guys? Just wanted to do a quick overview on some options for microphones for you. We've got Audio-Technica wired as well as wireless mics and the difference between their System 9 and System 10. So hopefully this information helps you pick the right mic next time you need one. First up, we're going to talk about instrument microphones. We've got two different models here, the ATM 650 and the AT 2021. The 2021 is a condenser mic. So anytime you hear me say condenser, it's going to require 48 volt phantom power, which 99% of modern mixers have. So that's not as big of an issue, but you do need phantom power for a condenser mic. These are a cardioid pattern, and they work really well for things like acoustic guitar, guitar cabinets, drum overheads, really violins, flutes, instrumentation, things like that. These will also work well in a choir setting. They do make choir mics that hang from the ceiling that are a condenser mic that pick up a broad area. You can get into omnidirectional mics like that. But for small groups or using multiple microphones on a choir, that would work for you. The ATM 650 is a dynamic microphone. Typically dynamic mics have a higher SPL tolerance, so louder instruments, things like a snare drum, toms, work very well. Guitar cabinets, if you're miking up a 412 high power guitar cabinet or a high power head plugged into a guitar cabinet, these guys work very well for that. Next up, we've got the handheld or vocal microphones. So these guys are wired mics. You plug them in. They're typically on a stand or handheld. The first one is the AT 2010. Now this is a condenser mic. Condenser mics, just like the instrument mic, they do have higher range of sound, so it might be a little bit brighter in context to a dynamic mic, but they are more sensitive. So you do have to be aware of issues of like feedback and things like that. You need to make sure you have more control. 48 volt phantom power, great sounding vocal mic. The 410 and the 510 are both dynamic mics. All three of these are cardioid polar patterns, so cardioid pickup patterns, so they are directional mics. The 410, just a little bit less quality of a mic element than their 510. The 510, if you're familiar with Shure SM58s, that's going to be their version as far as sound quality, durability. These are a really good sounding mic. We carry both here in the store, the 58 and the ATM 510, so if you'd ever want to A-B the two of them, we can do that as well. And then my personal favorite, this guy that I had hiding in the back, is an ATM 610A. What's different about this mic is it's a hypercardioid pattern. It's a dynamic handheld mic. So a hypercardioid is a more directional. Whenever you have a pattern like that in a microphone, you're dealing with less outside noise, so it's a more defined sound, but also they have a better sensitivity as far as frequency response to them. So generally, you do get a better sound out of a hypercardioid microphone. Would really recommend trying these out next time you're in. It's one of my favorite sounding vocal dynamic microphones. Now let's talk wireless units. So the System 9 from Audio-Technica, it's VHF frequency, which is radio transmission. They are frequency agile, so there are two antennas working simultaneously. So if you do have something where signal loss is going to start, it's going to automatically switch over to maintain your signal. These guys come in 4 different variations. You do have a headset microphone, you have a handheld microphone, there's a guitar wireless pack, and then the lavalier, the clip-on lapel style. The headset mic is a bigger style headset mic. It's not the small defined headset mic, so those do tend to run a little bit more. There are options out there where we can add to this unit and get you that thinner, small headset mic. But at that point, you're probably better off looking at the next series, which is going to be their System 10, and we're going to talk about that right now. All right, System 10s. These are a 2.4 gigahertz digital wireless system. So digital transmission works different than radio. It's a cleaner, better sounding signal. Also, the mic elements as well as the lavalier mic are a step up from their System 9. So you get better quality mic elements, better quality sound. But the nice thing with 2.4 gigahertz is you have no worry of TV interference, radio wave interference, anything like that. These guys are extremely easy to use. There are actually 8 different channels, so you can run 8 of these at a time in whatever setting. They make a few different kinds, just like they do with the System 9. They have handheld, they have the clip-on lavalier or lapel style. They also have the real thin line headset, and they do a guitar stomp box version that's really cool. It sits right on the floor just like a guitar pedal would, and you can hook that right into your pedal board and go. They have a System 10 Pro series. Now the Pro has an external antenna piece that you can run a cable to, so if you're in a loft or in an area where the units are racked and you need to get that antenna out per unit, you can do that. And we have dual handheld systems of those available too. But the System 10 is definitely something that we'd recommend for institutions, for churches, things like that, or DJs where you're DJing a wedding and you're going to pass the mic for like groomsmen speeches and things like that, where you don't want to have to worry about signal loss and you want a good sounding microphone. So that's what we'd recommend there. If you have any questions on handheld mics, wireless mics, all of the above, what mic works best for your application, feel free to give us a holler, call us, send us an email, message us through YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. We're here to help, and I hope that was informative for you. Thanks so much for your time. Take care.